waving the flag of sackcloth for humility. This is yet another edition of the Sophie Scholl monologue. What's due in due process? Haven't you been hearing a lot about that lately with regard to illegal aliens and how judges are gumming up the courts? Democrats, the left, are all claiming due process. What's due process? And why is it so important to them now? Why wasn't it important when Barack Obama deported 3 million? Now, people would say, well, he turned them back at the border, and therefore that doesn't count as them coming in. But maybe we're arguing over mere semantics there when due process wasn't an issue then as it is now. I think Ford O'Connell had something very insightful to say when he said, this is more about politics than it is due process. He might be onto something. I listened to Mark Levin talk about due process, and he advised people to stay away from a very narrow definition of it. It's a broad term, and it has a lot of latitude. And I think that's affirmed in this book called The Making of America. And in The Making of America, it goes into the substance of the words used in our Constitution. In the formation of our Constitution, there are terms there. And one of those terms, of course, is due process. And how is due process to be understood? It says due process of law is another descriptive name for legal, judicial, and governmental fair play in dealing with its citizens. Due process has been broadly, underscore that, broadly interpreted so that it does not necessarily require a trial in a court. Doesn't require a trial in the court. What have we been hearing in the news? Have this go to trial? Has this gone through the due process of a court system? We understand that this word due process may not require a trial in a court. I think that should be understood given what you're hearing on the news through Democrats, the left, and those that are using this term due process in such a narrow way where the Trump administration is being handcuffed with respect to these illegal aliens that have been taken out of the country. Haven't you seen the meme? I think it's a great meme. Basically, it runs like this. If due process was not observed by the government when the illegal aliens were on their way in, why should the government observe due process when the illegal aliens are on their way out? I think that's a good point to make. If due process wasn't an issue when they were crashing the border during the Biden administration, why all this fuss about due process now when these illegal aliens are being taken out of the country? The classic example is the Garcia case. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, illegal alien. But have you noticed what he's been called? The Maryland Man. The Maryland Man, the husband who has children through the woman that he, I guess, has his wife. But he's an illegal alien. And not only that, a wife beater. Not only that, highly likely a human trafficker. Broken laws here in the U.S. Sent back to El Salvador. And highly likely, he's been part of MS-13. And now the left has been on his bandwagon to make sure he gets due process. Really? Well, I so appreciated a meme that I saw on Facebook the other day. Gun manufacturer plans to rebrand the AR-15 to MS-13 so the Democrats won't ban them. Nifty saying there. But when you hear due process, you need to have your mind open to how it was meant originally and not how it's being interpreted narrowly by those on the left that are trying to get in the way of restoring law and order regarding the security of our country. With that said, I cannot promise you that I'll do better the next time. I know Tony Kornheiser, pardon the interruption, keeps saying that. He'll do better the next time. I like Tony, but I can't promise you that. And unlike Tony, who will wave another flag, I'm just going to keep waving the flag of sackcloth for humility. As a follower of Jesus, I need Jesus.